out yourself.
Well, I think the ball is really in the court of the minister concerned. I mean, he knows who he is, everyone knows who he is.
Or face being outed.
I've been thinking this morning, considering naming the federal minister I believe is the subject of historic rape allegations, because it's in the public interest.
People do know, the Prime Minister knows who it is, many other members of Parliament know. It could be anybody who decides to name him.
The unnamed minister under increasing pressure to unmask as new details emerge, including a photo reportedly showing him and the alleged victim together on the night she says he assaulted her.
I think for the sake of his colleagues, the government, everybody, he should front up.
At the moment, we have basically half a cabinet of ministers who have a cloud hanging over them because of this allegation.
The government is, for now, fiercely protecting his job and his identity.
Everybody is entitled to the presumption of innocence.
We can't have a situation where the mere making of an allegation is grounds for governments to stand people down.
And some say that's as it should be.
Look, I don't think there's any upside in naming someone in a situation like this. Because the complainant is dead, it'll never see the light of day in a court or any other form of inquiry. So all that we're doing really is naming someone with a view to completely destroying their reputation, which will be unanswerable.
I think the Australian people can be trusted to understand the difference between an allegation and a conviction, and I think that people should be trusted to make up their minds knowing that an independent process has taken place.
But in the age of social media, the question of whether or not to name this minister may soon become redundant.
It would be far better if this man stepped forward. The name's on social media.
You have people who know who this person is. You have a lot of commentary around who it might be, and an issue that is not going to go away. So I think that, yes, it isn't inevitable that this person will be named. It's just whether they're in control of it or not.
And just in the last hour, it has been confirmed that the minister in question will go public tomorrow.
Which makes that point about the inevitability really strong, doesn't it? It's what happens after he does that, because the question, like Amy made the point there, people can tell the difference between an allegation and guilt. I'm not so sure in the court of public opinion it works that way. Is there anything he could... Let's assume, just for the sake of discussion for a moment, that he's innocent. Right? None of us knows. None of us know. Is there anything he could say to defend himself?
Well, I don't...
Once he's known.
I think there is a whole section of the community that won't even hear what he says. They'll hear his name, and then they won't hear anything more except for that.
So what does Scott Morrison do from here? He's been saying, he's referred it to AFP, it's with police. Now police have said case closed. So it's up to him to do that.
Yeah.
Is it up to him to do the inquiry?
I think it is, and maybe he has to do it anyway for the sake of his own government, but also for the sake of the minister. So maybe that's the point. If the minister believes he's innocent and wants to assert that, there's actually no way that I can think of anyway for him to assert that doesn't involve some kind of process. Can you think of any way?
No.
Yeah. It's a terrible situation, really, for everybody. But, of course, we'll pay attention tomorrow and see what comes of it.
With so much content online, it's sometimes hard to keep up with it all. And let's face it, who has the time? The Project YouTube has you covered with the stories that matter. Hit subscribe for a daily list of the news that you need to know.